Samoei Ruto, who is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, has committed a grave political mistake. And that mistake is going to cost him, politically speaking. For those who've been following William Ruto and his brigades, they had identified a campaign theme, the hustler nation or the hustler narrative. That narrative was actually coined by none other than Mutahi Ngunyi, and it was spreading like bushfire in this country. As a matter of fact, because of the hustler nation narrative, their campaign was going very smoothly. But recently, the team shifted from the hustler narrative to bottom-up economy. I don't know what prompted to do this, but I think the Deputy President was under pressure to explain to Kenya the hustler narrative or the hustler kind of economy. So he started by organizing regions in the name of economy, how he was going to address their specific economy. But I don't know at what point they decided to shift from the hustler nation to bottoms up. And this has given the opponent the right tools to fight the Deputy President William Ruto. Today, Alice Wahome, the Kandara Member of Parliament, was trending on Twitter. Again, Kimani Ichung'wah, the Kikuyu Member of Parliament, was also trending on Twitter. These two people were trending because they were unable to explain to Kenyans the bottom-up economy. I want you to watch Alice Wahome getting confused.
What is trickle down and what is bottom up in simplified terms?
By working from the bottom down.
Top down?
Yeah, from up to from top to bottom.
Don't be cheated by semantics.
From the
No, that's Alice Wahome. No, this is Kimani Ichung'wah, a guy who was the chair of the budget committee, unable to explain the bottom-up economy. Listening to Kimani Ichung'wah.
Statistics that people have done, economists like Kwame here. If you are to empower the 9 million Kenyans who are in the unlicensed businesses, those are the guys you are chasing in town, calling them hawkers. Those are the people you are demolishing their food kiosks in the streets.
Fair enough.
If you are to empower those 9 million people who are earning between 200 and 300 shillings every day, and allow them not to pay the M-Shwari and Fuliza that they are paying today, and be able to get government money that they can use to grow their businesses and earn not 300, 400 to 600 shillings, they will be able to grow this country's GDP by close to 40%. That means about 4.8 trillion shillings in growth of GDP from just 9 million Kenyans who are in the informal sector unlicensed.
So Kimani Ichung'wah was trending on Twitter. Alice Wahome was trending on Twitter. Bottom-up's economy, bottom-up was trending on Twitter, and Matakuju was also trending on Twitter.
Ya mwisho, sijui kama mnataka siasa kidogo. Mnataka siasa ama tumechoka kwa siasa? Siasa kidogo. Basi sitasema mengi, labda niwachie hapo, lakini hii maneno ya bottoms up economy, labda Peter Kenneth ungetafsiri. What is it in Swahili? Matako juu.
Thank you, Honorable Tuju.
Now, in this video today, I want to explain to you guys why I strongly believe that the move by the DP to shift from the hustler nation to bottom-up economy is costly for them, politically speaking. But before we do that, if you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support. Now, I want to begin this analysis in a very simple way. What is bottom-up economy? You know, that's a broad subject. It requires people who understand economics, like David Ndii, to break it down. David Ndii is an elite. He's actually unable to explain it in a simple way which the local person can understand. When David Ndii was in ODM, he was able to come up with such kind of things. In fact, he was explaining recently that bottom-up was part of the ODM or NASA manifesto. But Ndii cannot explain it in a simple way because he's a smart economist. He would explain it to an extent where only those who are able to understand can understand. So Raila Odinga started countering that bottom-up economy. He came up with the Made in Kenya. Before these guys knew, he came up with the village economy. And after that village economy, Kenya started questioning the Tanga guys about their bottom-up economy. And one man, Johnson Sakaja, dismantled this bottom-up economy badly. In fact, the deputy president must be worried. Because if you won't be able to explain the bottom-up economy in a simple way, and if he won't be able to go back to the hustler nation, then he's not going to run with that narrative. Because at some point, the DP was actually now the man managing or controlling the narratives in this country, be it the economy, be it politics. He was the one listening to Johnson Sakaja destroying the deputy president.
Padri atakubaliana na mimi ya kuwa kwa Biblia ni makosa kutumia maskini vibaya, ni makosa kudanganya maskini, ni makosa to take advantage of the poor, kwa sababu hata kama watu ni maskini sio wajinga, si ni kweli? Hata kama watu ni maskini sio wajinga. Kuna wale wanazunguka wanasema ati watatoa pesa wapatie watu kwa directly, ati bottom up, ati atoe pesa apatie kila mtu ambaye anafanya biashara ndogo. Unajua Kenya hii, hata kama hatuna pesa wote, sisi sio wajinga. Na hata niwaambie tu kwa mfano, wale ambao wanafanya kazi ndogo ndogo, ile artisans, unajua artisans, wale wako kwa market wanajenga maseremala, wale wanajenga vitu ya chuma, Kenya mzima ni milioni 7. Haya, wale ambao ni hawkers, si mnajua hawkers, na wale wanafanya biashara kwa market, biashara na ambao tunawaheshimu na lazima tuwasaidie, ni milioni 8. Sijui kama tuko pamoja. Wale ambao Kenya mzima ambao wanafanya small traders, service providers, boda boda, watu wa saloon, wote ni milioni 3. Alafu wale wakulima wadogo, mnajua ni wangapi? Kenya mzima milioni 4. Hao watu wote ni milioni 22. 22 million Kenyans in the informal economy. Ukiamua kuwapatia wote ati pesa 100,000, je, wanasema watawapea 100,000? Hiyo ni trilioni 2, 2.2 trillion. Na budget ya Kenya ni trilioni 3. Sio ni uongo? 2.2 trillion ati ndio bottom up kwa wafanyi biashara wadogo, kwa budget ya 3 trillion. Tunaweza kuwa ni maskini lakini sisi sio wajinga. Na ukisema ni ile wanasema 20 billion governor, if you give 20 billion to these people, kila mmoja atapata shilingi 900 kwa mwaka mmoja. Hapo umewasaidia. Njia ya kusaidia uchumi na wafanyabiashara na watu wadogo ni ile Msali anasema, kwanza tuache ufisadi, tuache kuiba. Ya pili, tupunguze ushuru, reduce the tax, it is too high. Hata gasi imepanda na 300. Akina mama, si mnajua mnatumia gas, punguza hiyo tax, utaokota zaidi mingi kwa Wakenya. Alafu punguza budget, hatuhitaji budget kubwa hivyo, kidogo. That is the real rejuvenation of the economy. So hiyo ndio ukweli ambao naomba padre na viongozi wa kanisa tusikubali uongo. Kenya tunaweza kuwa sisi maskini lakini sisi si wajinga. Tutazidi kutembea na nyinyi, tukihubiri amani, tukihubiri siasa ambayo inaleta Wakenya pamoja, ambayo itashikanisha mtu.
No, that's Johnson Sakaja. But why do I believe, and very strongly, that the deputy president has committed a mistake by shifting from the hustler nation? 4 or 5 reasons only. Number one, the hustler nation was very simple. You know, everybody is a hustler. Even me, I hustle. The reason I'm here is because I'm hustling. The reason you are out there is because you are hustling. So it was simple, and so many people could relate to that narrative. In fact, it reached a point where people allied to Raila Odinga could not use the term or the word hustler. Because if you use the word hustler, then it will be identified with the deputy president. So they had created that kind of a brand. Why were they shifting it to bottom up? Why were they even coming up with something like bottom up? Just because the US President, Joe Biden, talked of bottom up. So they picked it from there. But you see, Americans and Kenyans are different. It was possible for Kenyans to understand the hustler narrative, but it's difficult for them to understand really what is this bottom-up economy. So the deputy president must go back to the hustler narrative because Kenyans were already identifying with the hustler narrative. Number two, why it's also difficult and the DP must go back is because William Ruto has been part and parcel of the government. He was part of KANU. The DP was part of KANU. The DP was part of Jubilee. In fact, in 2013, the deputy president was talking of the same things. I want you to listen to the deputy president sometimes earlier talking about the same thing.
Vijana wa Kenya, ya kwamba vijana wa Kenya tena hawataendelea kuwa ndio sura ya njaa na umaskini. Tutabadilisha uchumi wa Kenya isiwe tena ni uchumi ya watu wachache kujivunia na watu vijana mamilioni kuvumilia. Itakuwa ni uchumi ambao kila Mkenya atajumuisha, mahasla, wale wanafanya kiosk, wale wanasukuma mkokoteni, watapata nafasi ya kuchangia kubadilisha.
And because he was part of government, Kenyans are putting him to task. And that's why today, someone was even sharing this clip of the deputy president, which happened sometimes this year or late last year, when he was defending himself as part of the government. So he can't run away from the failure of the government. And Kenyans are asking him, if you've been part of the government, why couldn't you apply the same bottom-up approach? Number three, Kenyans are also not very stupid. There are certain things they can question. And one of the things Kenyans are currently questioning is Deputy President's economic policies. When Ichung'wa was on TV, he was with Kwame, the economist. And Kwame was actually poking holes into this bottom-up approach. But you know, the deputy president, having been in this country for the longest time as part of KANU, part of ODM, part of Jubilee, Kenyans are asking him what really happened. Because this guy opposed devolution. His team have been trying to explain bottom-up approach as trickle-down, where resources are brought to the ground, and down here, and then people on the ground or the grassroots now start enjoying the benefits. And Kenyans are reminding him that, for example, he opposed devolution. He was very vocal in opposing devolution. So Kenyans are now questioning his policies on his economic policies in general. And because of this, I think he must go back. He must go back to the hustler nation. And lastly, rallying the poor. You know, at some point, and I did a video on this, I explained that the reason why the deputy president came up with the hustler narrative was just one. What I call tribal dominance. A Kikuyu president living to a Kalenjin living to a Kikuyu living to a Kalenjin. William Ruto is a Kalenjin. And because William Ruto is a Kalenjin, he wanted a way out of that so that he is not branded as a Kalenjin. So he identified the poor. And after identifying with the poor, he wanted to be packaged as part of the poor. So he was trying to create a narrative of the haves and the have-nots. But I think he chickened out when President Uhuru Kenyatta started challenging him, when Kenyans started questioning him about the poor, the rich, the dynasty, and the hustlers. So he started chickening out, and because of that, he now came up with this particular narrative. It was easier for him and his team to rally poor Kenyans on the basis of class, that we are poor, these guys are rich. But again, that cannot work because the DP is also not a poor person. But of course, Mutai Ngunyi had created this notion that Ruto was a chicken seller who sold chicken and therefore was one of them. Like, for example, so many people come from that kind of poor background, so you will easily identify with him. There are so many people who would want to achieve what the DP has achieved. It's not easy achieving what the deputy president has achieved. So it was easy to rally these people around the DP using the hustler nation. But now this bottom up is not going to be very easy for them. I don't know what you think. Let me hear your thoughts on this. Again, if you're watching this channel for the first time, take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. Let me hear from you. Do you think the bottom up is a good strategy for the DP, or it should revert back to the hustler nation? For me, the DP should go back to the hustler nation because of the reasons I've just explained. The hustler nation or the hustler narrative is simple. William Ruto has been part of government, so people can question him. People can question his economic policies, and it's also easy to rally Kenyans around class. Either you rally Kenyans on tribal or class. So it was easy for the DP to rally Kenyans on class. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day.